Book 1, Law of Salimi, Chapter 45, The University. After several weeks, I did not receive any calls from the university which indicated that I was not chosen as the scholarship recipient. So I began preparing for the third year applications for the same scholarship. Suddenly, out of the blue, I received a phone call informing that I was selected after one of the selected candidates had refused to accept the scholarship offered. I was jumping to the ceiling, which was figuratively describing my joy upon hearing the news. Alhamdulillah, thanks to Allah the Merciful for granting me the opportunity to receive the scholarship to perform my PhD program. I was extremely grateful to Allah the Almighty because my prayers to receive the scholarship was finally being granted. It was highly probable that the interview session managed to inspire them to choose me as the scholarship recipient. Either that, or it was also possible that they do not wish to receive my application for every year for the rest of my life at the university. For the first step for PhD level of knowledge had been taken by me in walking the path of a scholar. It took me some time before I finally managed to be accepted for a PhD program by the same university that offered me their scholarship. The university was one of the most famous institutions of learning in Malaysia, but I would prefer to keep their name as anonymous. Instead, I would refer the organization as the university. This is a picture taken. As you can see, I'm one of the students there. This is a picture taken of our classmates in one of the program during the PhD studies. The learning environment at the university was amazing. I had met international students from all over the world as my classmates. Some had amazing auras with them, while others do not possess much, which I can sense. Notwithstanding, the experience had taught me valuable experience and knowledge about global environment, specific countries and their cultures. It was extremely challenging, yet it was absolutely exhilarating for me because of the vast opportunities to gain and acquire as much knowledge as possible. For anyone out there who were passionate about learning and knowledge, I would highly recommend to discover the experience of studying at master's or PhD level of education because it was astonishingly amazing life experience. For someone who has passion for learning and knowledge, the environment were analogous as heaven on earth because I had the opportunity to meet with the greatest mind and the best scholars in this world in their respective field of specialization and expertise. Moreover, there were constant visitation from other professors from all over the world to give talks and presentations at the university, which offered vast amount of learning experience and opportunities for sharing knowledge with them. In fact, in most cases, you had the chance to pick on their minds and thoughts by setting up appointments for one-on-one discussions about knowledge and their field of expertise. It was the best environment for someone who was passionate for knowledge and learning. It was marvelous experience for walking the path of a scholar. This is also another picture of some of our classmates. As you can see, many of these students are from various other countries all over the world. Most of the pictures in this book were taken by my classmates and friends because I was not too keen about taking my own pictures. I was too focused on the pursuit of knowledge and learning as much as I can about everything that I could get my hand on. The university had an enormous main library as well as several other specialized libraries for each school of knowledge. Moreover, they also had access to numerous databases to thousands of academic journals from all over the world in various fields of studies and expertise. In terms of studying at the university, I studied in the field of Islamic economics, Islamic finance, and Islamic banking under the area of international business. My supervisor was one of the interviewer who had asked me the final question that I was unable to answer during the scholarship interview session. He was a well-known professor in the field of Islamic banking with the background of international business study. In effect, I was a well match to be supervised under him because we shared numerous similarities and attributes. In order to protect his name, I would refer this professor as Respondent 001, which was the code name given to him as part of my respondents that I had interviewed and observed during the research for my PhD thesis. I began my first semester at the university on July 2008, which I took 4 classes. I hate to admit it, but during my first year at the university, I did not understand most of the things being said by my respondent 001, especially regarding the subject matter of my thesis. As a result, he guided me to explore in the field of economics for both Islamic and conventional so that I could improve my knowledge and enhance my understanding. Unlike most of my classmates who had numerous responsibilities in life, including spouses and children, I was single and focused 100% to my PhD. In addition, I was able to allocate all of my funding from the scholarship to purchase any books necessary to improve my understanding and knowledge. Suffice to say that I currently had about 1,700 references entered into my bibliography software, which with a lot more have yet to be included. Generally speaking, the scholarship fund spent on my references, books, and developmental tools used for the research could easily match the price of a new car. As time elapsed, it seemed to me that I was appearing to be the only one who spent that much funding for the tools and references in comparison to my other classmates. It was the right decision for me to enter the world of PhD research without having other responsibilities which might drain the allocation of the scholarship funds. Essentially, I had acquired virtually all books and references regarding the subject matter of banking, finance, economy, interests, historical background of economy and banking from both Islamic and conventional practices. In effect, almost all books in the market had been gathered as my collection of references. Moreover, there were books that were considered to be non-existent or outside of the circulation that ended up into my library of correction. Some of the books were against the teachings of Islam, while some others were against the teachings of institution of banking in Malaysia. It was surprising how some books that I acquired were actually banned from the official or standard Malaysian circulation or publication. I love to read them and discover a vast amount of knowledge related to the subject matter of my PhD thesis. It had improved my knowledge and my understanding about anything related to economy, banking, riba, or usury, finance, historical fact, Islamic studies, and numerous other fields of knowledge which improved my overall ability to be closer to the level of my supervisor, Respondent 001. In effect, after researching with abundance of references, I started to understand the words explained by Respondent 001 much better than I ever did. Okay, with that, we ended chapter 44 and hope to see you again in the next chapter, that is chapter 45. Thank you for listening for the video and hope to see you in the next one. See you soon.